Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 27th day of June, 2025. It is Friday of the 12th week of the year, 12th week in Ordinary Time. But today we take a step back, or take a step over, or whatever it is, to celebrate the third of the great post-Pentecost solemnities, the Solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And I am coming to you today from Scottsdale, Arizona, because I am meeting with the fundraising development people of the order, Friars Minor, the entire order, here, doing liturgies for them here at the Franciscan Renewal Center in Scottsdale. Again, lovely. I think I was here one other time with the Franciscan Pilgrimage Program, or some other kind of meeting of friars too. But the Phoenix Mountains behind me over there, and then you can't see them because of the palm trees and everything, but the Camelback Ridge is over on that side over there. So it is a dry heat, which means nothing to me because it's still hot. But it's not yet hot enough again. So I'm 3 hours behind you. So this will probably come out towards noon or something like that today. But still, it is for today. So so here we are. Yes. So you'll see some scenes like this next week too, as I stay here for a while. But anyway, so Solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Many devotions, again, this devotion comes from Margaret Mary Alacoque, who had a vision of Jesus exposing his heart to her, a heart that was on fire, a heart surrounded by the crown of thorns, a heart sometimes with a pierced sword in it, and things like that. And in some ways, the devotion to this begins, Margaret Mary basically promotes this devotion, which was to be a devotion basically expressing God's great love for us, because again the whole point of Easter again is a demonstration of God's all-conquering love, again the great love of God that conquers sin and darkness and death. And although they continue to be unhappy about that and try to tell us that nothing has changed, everything has changed because of it. And so this special kind of recognition of the fact that this is all accomplished by the impetus, by the instigation of God's love. That God makes the first move always out of love, that God makes the first move in love, that God makes the first move to bring us into deeper and deeper love, that this is what really it's all about. Too many times, sometimes this devotion has turned into feeling sorry for Jesus, that his heart had to be hurt by our offenses and our pains and our sins and everything else like that. And again, if Jesus is hurt by all of that, what is ever going to make it better? So the thing is that, this love has the power to overcome all of these kinds of things, and to not get lost in thinking about ourselves and what we are doing and not thinking about what God is doing for us. That's always the key thing, because it is the sense in which we can get lost in our own brokenness and pain and thinking of all the times in which, we hurt Jesus, we hurt Jesus, we hurt Jesus. Well, okay, fine. Jesus is a big boy. He can get over it. And that's the reality of it. And Jesus gets over it by basically saying, stop looking at yourselves, people. Stop being so egotistical in your own mistakes, in your own faults and failings, that you forget to see the great love I am constantly throwing your way and constantly offering you again and again each day. That this important recognition, again, comes out in these readings today, comes out in Exodus, which God repeats over and over again, that this is my people and this is what I'm going to do for them, what I am going to do for them, not asking them to do anything first before I do anything for them. But again, it is my initiative, my first initiative to love and to do things. Again, the letter, I forget which letter it is from Paul, but it talks about basically the love of God being poured into our hearts. And this is the whole point, that we need to love in the same kind of capacity in which God does, without boundaries, without any kind of a sense of limits, with abandon, with extravagance. This is the kind of love in which we are meant, to love with. And then, in the gospel, for today, again, about the lost sheep. Again, that this is what to go out to get those that are lost and to bring them back home again. Again, this great Franciscan principle, to bring back those who have lost their way, to bring back home, again, those who have wandered too far, to have forgotten themselves in the midst of all of this. These are acts of love. Again, this great experience and great expression of what is most divine about us. Today is a day to remember, especially, again, and coming out of this Easter season, that we have been created in the divine image, that we have been created in God's image. And that means that there is divinity within us. It's not superpowers, it's not superhuman abilities, it's not super whatever it is. It is basically our ability to love. The greatest example of that sense of divinity within us, is to love and to love and to love, and never forget about loving, and never trying to give up on loving, and never being a person who forgoes loving for other kinds of things that are more destructive. To be able to love and to remember love is what our mission is all about. And on this day of the Sacred Heart, again, this last of these great idea feasts of who and what this God is, who, yes, was crucified on a cross, but also rose, and rose in glory to change the course of human history. What does it mean to live in that love, and to continue living in this love, not only just for the rest of this year, but for every other year to come? A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.